Hi, welcome to Modern Polyamory. I'm Jan.
I'm Kyle.
And welcome to season 2. So we had a little period of change in our life. And so that makes a new season of our life and a new season of Modern Polyamory.
The integration is complete.
The integration is complete. I live here now. Hi.
Yeah, so hopefully that means we can get more episodes to you faster. But lately, all it's meant is more work for some reason. So as we continue to navigate life's hurdles, please be understanding as we get these episodes out to you.
Yes. So we wanted to start out this new season with a question and answer segment. We pulled some questions from our Discord community, and I guess we'll just jump right in.
Yeah, we got some questions from you guys, and it's about damn time. Where have you been?
Right? Okay, so Jessie Beth asks us, how do I not come across blunt in a check-in?
How do you not come across blunt in a check-in? Well, much like I like my smoking sessions, I do prefer a blunt during my check-in. A blunt check-in, no. I mean, for me, sometimes there are just some things that you just have to say, and it sometimes feels like you're being blunt, but ripping off the Band-Aid can sometimes be the best way to do it.
Yeah, I think that also policing your own tone can help with that a lot.
True.
If you're saying something that's blunt, maybe you could even trigger warning it and say, hey, this is going to sound really blunt and I don't mean for it to, but, and then just lay it out. Because ultimately laying it out there is the truth.
Right, yeah.
So you would want to stick with the truth.
Yeah, you also don't want to get being blunt confused with being rude or maybe using some conversation in a discussion that would be accusatory.
Right.
I like to use a lot of I feel or based off my experience type of prompts to start things off because, you're not just saying hey, Dave, you're a jerk.
And also, I think that there's a thing that we could talk about where you're going into it. It's a soft startup strategy. So you don't just jump right in and say, all right, this has been bad for weeks and I need to talk about it now.
Yeah.
You say, hey, how are you feeling? Gauge the other person's demeanor or mood, because maybe it's not the right time.
Make sure the other person's ready for a check-in too. Don't just
don't just lay it out.
Come in hot when they're in the restroom.
Right.
You've just woken up.
It's a good rule of thumb to not come in hot when somebody's in the restroom, just in general.
Unless that's your thing.
Right. Oh well.
Go ahead.
No judgment.
Yeah.
So the second question that we got was from Anna Jane from our Discord server. And Anna Jane wants to know, what are some common pitfalls for people going into polyamory as a single person? So I have no experience in that. I'm going to hand it to you.
Well, definitely coming in from the mindset that love is finite, right? If my partner meets someone new, then there won't be enough love for me to go around. That one is, that's probably one of the bigger ones to get over on that situation. What are some others?
Probably, let's see, going into it as a single person, you're going to potentially meet, as a single person, a lot of unicorn hunters.
That's true, especially if you're a woman.
Yes, especially if you're a woman. And that's your thing, then great. But if unicorn hunting and being hunted and being a unicorn isn't your thing, you don't want to share. I have a thing where I won't date another married man. It's okay if you have partners, but a wifey is a different situation. So I won't date another married man. And also, when you're single and child-free,
yep.
Sometimes dating a partner who has a child can be difficult.
That's true. Yeah. And then, of course, it's always new to talk about all of the other relationships too.
Yep.
Being fresh out of being single, because it's more common for monogamous people to hide their infidelities or their polyamory. They like to scoot it under the covers there. But with ethical polyamory, the big point is letting you come out and speak openly of all these other things that you'd used to keep closeted.
Yes. So one of the things that I have seen, I'm a member of a group on Facebook that is called monopoly relationships. So it's people who are monogamous, but their partner is polyamorous. And one of the things that I've seen coming from that sphere is people saying that the polyamorous partner that they started to date always talks about their other partner, and they tell their other partner things about them, and that makes them uncomfortable.
Sure.
But polyamory involves a lot of communication and a lot of talking that's new, and you may not be used to it, but it's one of those things that's going to happen.
Right. So,
it's just not. It's not going to be different.
It's gonna feel a little weird at first, but I promise you, after a few dozen times, it still feels weird.
True.
No, yeah, it's always one of those things. It's like cliff jumping. It's one of those things. You're like, oof, you got to psych yourself up. You get into it. You do the talk, and you feel better that you've done it.
Yep. You
don't have to hike back down the cliff.
Yep. So getting used to that polyamorous communication style, that's one of the things to look into. So Dave from the Discord server asks, how do you arrive at equal when opening a relationship to a third person, meaning so that the third doesn't feel like a third wheel? You don't. Striving for equality is going to leave you emotionally burnt out, time-wise burnt out, and you could burn out on partner. You're going to want to meet people where they are with their wants and their needs. You don't want to give somebody a lot of your time in a way that they're not necessarily looking for. They may not be looking for the same thing that your other partner is, and doing an equality searching thing isn't going to work out. Right. You want very different things from our relationship than Rick wants. So I don't treat you guys equal.
Right.
But I try and separate the words equal and equity. So equitable is the best way to describe how you divide up. I don't like to say it like that, but it's not so much everything's the same. It's just you're giving an equal amount of energy towards meeting people where they are.
Right.
Yes.
And it also depends a lot of the dynamic of, your partner and your partner's other partner and how engaged you are with the other partner. There are some instances like if you're picked up by a unicorn hunter, you may be basically dating both people as if they are one person.
Right.
And then, that really changes the dynamic versus if you're dating someone who's poly and they also have another partner whom you may not have any romantic feelings for, or, it could be some sort of common long distance thing. You couldn't even see them that much.
Right.
So there's a lot of different scenarios in this.
Yep.
But what I would say is that you'll feel it. If you're not spending enough time with a certain partner, there will be signs, right? During your check-ins, during your talks, they'll be like, hey, I don't feel like I'm getting enough time. Or if jealousy comes up, they'll be like, I think you're doing something for person A that I would like as well. And I don't know why you don't do that for me. So all these talks.
And that's good intel. That's good intel, because then you can love that person better.
Yeah.
And more like they want to be loved.
Yeah. And that'll definitely make them not feel like the third wheel. The check-ins. Mm-hmm. Communicating about things,
yep.
Talking about boundaries and what they've liked and things they've not liked.
Yep. So don't strive for equal, strive for equity.
Yeah.
So this next question is from Johnny Simon, and it is a video question. So to you, Johnny,
I have a question, and possibly you guys have covered it on your guys' podcast. Are you familiar with the concept, and I've been calling it skip stoning, when you pretend like you feign interest in one person to like gain access to their partner? Is there like a term for this? Just curiosity. I figured I could always fucking Google it, but why not reach out to someone who has some expertise?
All right, Johnny, thank you so much for your question. So
Skip stoning.
that's interesting. I have not heard that.
Yeah, it's not a new one that I've heard before, but I think I think it might have to, it might happen more in, non-hetero polyamorousness.
Perhaps. I think that may be why it hasn't come up for us. But I can also see this being a thing where, I don't know, maybe like a 5 is dating a 9.
Yeah.
Does that sound horrible?
I mean, well, it's like, I'm trying to imagine a situation where it's like if someone was trying to date Jan by means of dating me. So it's like, it would have to be like a lady.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested in the men's.
Ladies? That's fine.
So if you want
to date me to get
I mean, I guess that would work.
Or date you to get to me. Hey, you don't have to do that.
Yeah. So I guess, that would be something to keep in mind if someone is expressing interest in you and you feel like it might not be genuine. They may just be trying to see you so that they are in your partner's sphere enough to,
Yeah.
and wiggle their way in.
Also, this is a red flag. A huge red flag.
This is kind of like social manipulation.
Very much non-consent.
It's pretty not.
And I just think it's like wrong to mess with people's emotions. And the way that I practice polyamory, it's very love-based, and this would be a love game. And I would not be into that. We are not into love games.
Yes. Like old Greg said before. No love games.
So we want to take this time to invite you guys to follow us at Modern Polyamory.
Yep.
On most socials.
Pretty much everything.
I don't do X, formerly known as Twitter.
I mean, it's still Twitter to me.
We can dead name Twitter. That one's fine.
Fine.
And then also check out the blog at modernpolyamory.com.
Yep, we got some website retooling coming up, but there's a lot of great articles on there still. So everything is getting a big old facelift.
Absolutely. And if you are a subscriber or member to Medium, I am also posting things on Medium and would love to have some discourse on that side as well. And new to season 2, I am now offering coaching sessions. So you can do a one-on-one. I will do a couple. You do not have to be polyamorous, just monogamous couples. That's fine as well. And I will also do facilitate a group session for polycules.
Cool. So it's like if
all of that information is on the website.
That's exciting.
Yes. I've been a busy girl this summer.
Haven't we all? I'm also a very busy girl this summer.
You are a busy girl this summer. Oh my goodness. So you know what time it is? It's time for the second half of Modern Polyamory podcast, and
we're gonna keep it going.
The gravy boat.
Yeah, I've been craving some gravy.
And we
getting a little light.
Getting low on gravy, but
to put some new gravy.
Guess we should put skip stoning in there, right?
Well, we've talked about it now.
It's like, is this a term? No, I don't think it is, but could it be? Absolutely. We add things to the lexicon.
I make up words all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, Merriam-Webster, watch your ass. Here we come.
We're coming for you. Here.
Okay.
I got one.
You got one? Read it off. Let's see what you got.
Oh my. Hall pass. So this is a term from swinging, and this is a one-time or occasional agreement where one partner is allowed to sleep with others. So a great example of a hall pass. So I don't have like an open hall pass, but I have had times where I've been to a place like Burning Man, for instance, where you don't know if the random hookup's going to happen or not. So I'll have like a person in mind who I think might be a good hall pass for me. And I'll say, hey, if I meet this person and we want to hook up, like, is that okay? They live in Mexico. He knows who he is. He's my hall pass that I haven't gotten to use.
Antonio Banderas. I don't know.
So hall pass. Yeah.
Hall pass.
You ever had a hall pass moment in a relationship?
I don't really know. All right, what do we got here? Unicorn hunting. Mentioned earlier on the podcast, unicorn hunting is a term for couples seeking a bisexual woman for a closed triad.
How do we feel about unicorn hunting? Well, how do you feel about it?
I think it's, great. If everybody's on board and everybody's, copacetic with the arrangement, I say hunt them unicorns.
I agree. I know people who enjoy being a unicorn.
That's very true.
But I also know that it's very hard to be a single girl doing solo polyamory, and maybe you're not into couples.
Sure, yeah. It is a lot of... It's very dense with unicorn hunters out there in the dating community, especially in the polyamorous dating community. It's a lot of couples seeking a female third.
I see that so much on Field.
Yes.
On Field, it's huge. There's so many just couples, and they're like, we do not do one-on-one. It's both of us or nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I know what that is.
Yeah, and it's always like, no men.
Yeah, no men, ladies only. So there are ways to take unicorn hunting toxic, and I think that's why it's got kind of a negative rap right now.
Yeah.
Because it does.
Yeah.
It's very negative in the community online.
It can be, yeah. Especially, if you're not on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if everybody's on board.
If everybody's consenting adults, then they're consenting adults, and have fun.
Absolutely. Okay. Hold in the boat.
Hold the boat. Okay. So I always get the swinger ones. So funny.
There's a lot of terminology in swinging.
Cuck queening.
Cuck queening.
This is the female version of cuckolding. So this is where you would bring in a hot girl to have sex with your partner in front of you as a woman.
Yep.
So, yeah. Easy peasy.
That's basically just roles reverse.
Have you done it?
Maybe not
been
intentionally.
The stud for cuck queen?
Never had someone be like, look what I brought home for you. Wasn't like that, but I've been in some interesting situations.
Yeah, I've never done that, but I mean, there's a first time for everything. I'm a good sport.
Colin, this one's jumping out of the bowl.
You spilled the gravy.
Spilled the gravy. Fluid bonding. It's a polyamorous term.
And a health term.
And a health term. So choosing to forego barrier protection, like condoms, with certain partners, usually after rigorous testing and examination.
I don't know if it was rigorous.
Oh. Well,
I guess it's more rigorous for men.
The doctors...
Do they still do that with the Q-tip?
Fortunately not.
Okay.
It's been a while since someone's assaulted me with the 8-inch Q-tip.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that this is a thing.
Yeah.
It used to be anyways a thing.
Yeah, getting tested is a lot easier now than it used to be.
Look.
But I've been a victim of the Q-tip.
Oh my.
I mean, to the lengths we go to fluid bond. But yes, once you and your partner are fluid bonded, then you no longer need to use condoms because, you're all sipping the same straw, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, it's fun. Especially when you're 44 and you don't even have to worry about getting pregnant. Polyfidelity. This is a non-monogamy term. It is a closed group of 3 or more partners who only have sex with each other. So polyfidelity basically just means you're polyamorous, you've got more than one partner, but that's it. Then it's closed and nobody's dating anybody else. This is usually when the entire polycule comes to the consensus that they're polysatisfied. And that is a shout out to my friend Infinite Polyam online. Thanks, girl, for polysatisfied. I just want to give her the credit because she's making that happen.
Absolutely. So yeah, and then as you know, if you're in the situation, you're just moments away from buying some property
Yes.
and building a little homestead.
Yeah, exactly. You ready?
I guess so. ACE.
ACE.
ACE. It's an identity, an abbreviation for asexual, sometimes used as part of a longer or larger self-identification.
So we know because of relationship science and a lot of research, especially current research, that ACE is being used as a spectrum now.
Okay.
And it encompasses all of the different demisexual, because asexual and asexuality is not like one thing. It's not a complete lack of sex interest in your life. It's just maybe a reduced one. So that's a demisexual would need, they would need feelings and kind of emotions to go along with the relationship before they feel comfortable being sexual.
Yep.
And then there's asexuals where they're not necessarily going to be attracted right away, but that's not completely out of the picture. And it's, some people just are completely not sexual at all.
Right.
And then some people are sexual when the time is right. And also keep in mind that asexuality doesn't have anything to do with people who have medical disabilities. If you have a medical disability that keeps you from having sex, you're not necessarily asexual.
That's right.
You may have plenty of desire. It's just not possible for you to do it. So those people are not considered asexual, but it is a spectrum now, and you can define it however you want.
However you want. Let's see. One more?
One more, and then we'll be done for the week. Good one to end it on. Nesting partner.
Oh, how funny is that?
A romantic sexual partner with whom you cohabit. Hey, did it. Nesting partners.
They made it in the cave.
I made it into the cave. I'm now a full-fledged member.
Yes.
Of the bean.
The tribe grows.
The tribe grew.
Yes, but a nesting partner would be when someone moves in and you share your living spaces, foods, facilities, amenities.
Yes, and you have lots of time to sit around and just live life, and it's a great experience and shared resources. And if you're ready to jump in, just know it is the deep end.
Yeah, because you're dealing with these people every day.
Yeah.
So, and you need to know how to communicate. You need to know how to take time for yourself so you can recharge, so you don't,
Yep.
Yeah. It's a whole, we could do a whole segment on this one.
And we will.
Probably will.
And we will. Maybe in another month or so, but we will.
Yeah.
We will. We will talk about it.
Absolutely.
But now we'd like to thank everyone for listening and tuning in.
Absolutely.
We're saying new episodes drop bi-weekly. It may be weekly. We're still getting into a new routine and a new lifestyle. So
we got on the radar, there's Burning Man coming up. We have a lot to prepare for. I'm doing art. We got to get our camp stuff ready.
So much to do.
Yes, it's a busy summer, but we will be getting more episodes to you. And always remember to follow.
Yes.
Like, share, comment, the internet thing.
And subscribe. Please subscribe. We need all of the subscribers.
Yes.
So that you will be first on the list to know when a new episode drops or when we post shorts on YouTube. And then also keep an eye out for a new Patreon community, which should be coming out in the next month or so.
Yes, so we're going to have some really cool exclusive features for our Patreon members.
Yes.
Only.
Yes.
So,
lots of opportunities for one-on-one moments and different things. So depending on how much you Patreon us.
Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.